Hello, I'm Graham Lewis, and in this video we're going to discuss a fraction word problem, and I'm going to give you some strategies of how I think helps with these word problems. So firstly, let's read the problem. When you're reading the problem, you can either underline or highlight the key information or rewrite the key information. I like to rewrite it, which you'll see I've done in my purple writing below already. But let's read the problem first, and I'll underline it as well, and you can choose which method you prefer. Riley is using his grandmother's recipe to make cookies. He has enough white sugar to make 4 batches of the chocolate chip. So that's how much sugar he's got. How much white sugar is left over? That's the question that we're trying to answer. But if he makes 7 batches of cherry cookies. So you can either underline the key information and work out what they're asking you that way, or you can summarize it by writing. I like to summarize writing. So you can see I've written enough white sugar for 4 batches, so I can work that out. Going to make 7 batches of cherry, and the question is how much sugar left over. My next strategy is actually to change the numbers, and these are harder numbers. Here's the cup of white sugar in the chocolate chip, and remember there's 4 batches there. So I'm just going to put a 4B for 4 batches. And here's the amount of sugar required for 1 batch of cherry. And we obviously want to make 7 batches of that. What I do is actually change the numbers. So let's just imagine it's 2 cups there, and imagine it's 1 cup there. And I work out the problem with easy numbers that aren't fractions, and then I use that to help guide me with the process of what to do if it's fractions. So clearly, if I'm making 4 batches and I've changed it to 2 cups, that's clearly 8 cups of white sugar I have. I've got enough to make 8 cups. However, if it's 1 cup and I make 7 batches, that would be 7 cups to make my 7 batches of cherry. So then I just subtract those 2 to get 1 cup. And then I repeat that with the hard numbers. Because what did I do to get the 8 cups? I did 4 times 2. Well, instead of 4 times 2, it's 4 times 1 1/3. And that's why I put the easy numbers in to get the process, and then copy the process with the hard numbers. This really helps me with harder problems understand what it's asking. Here, when I change the question to 1 cup of white sugar, I've got 7 batches, so it's 7 times 1. Now it's 7 times 1/2. So the real question is, can I work out 4 times 1 1/3? Can I work out 7 1/2? And then when it was the easy question, obviously I had 1 cup left over. I did 8 minus 7. Can I then subtract those 2 answers? So that's my strategy. So I've spent a long time talking about strategy because I think that's key. Because once you've got the strategy and you know what you're doing, your fraction skills kick in and you can just answer the problem. So what we have to do is multiply 4 1/3 together, multiply 7 1/2 together, and then subtract them. So let's go ahead and do that now. So when I'm doing 4 times 1 1/3, always change the fractions into improper fractions or top-heavy fractions where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Sorry, excuse me. 4's easy. It's just 4 divided by 1. 4 over 1. 1 1/3 is, well, 1 is 3/3, so I've got 3/3 and 1/3, so that's 4/3. So I've got 4 times 4 on top is 16, and 1 times 3 on the bottom is 16/3. Now you could change that into a mixed number if you wanted. Obviously 3 goes into 16 5 times, remainder 1, and it's 1/3. But I'm going to leave it as improper because I'll worry about that at the end of the question. 7 times 1/2, you can either go straight to the answer, 3 1/2, or you can do it as 7 over 1 times 1 over 2, and get 7 over 2 as an improper fraction. So this is the amount, remember, that you have. And this is the amount you're using. So to find out how much sugar left over, I need to do 16/3 subtract 7/2. Now, you could do that in mixed numbers as well. So obviously I've made another video on whether you choose to do it with improper fractions or not. So if you want to do it with 5 1/3 minus 3 1/2, you can. If you want to do it as 16 over 3 minus 7 over 2, you can. Do it now, pause the video, and then I'll go through it and you can check your answer. So obviously we need a common denominator, whichever way you're doing it. So I'm going to choose a common denominator of 6. I'm going to do it this way, I've decided, the improper fraction method. So I multiply top and bottom by 2, so I get a 32 over 6. Multiply top and bottom by 3, and I get a 21. If these numbers were huge, I wouldn't choose this way, and I'd use this way. But the numbers are quite small, so I'm happy with the improper fraction approach. 32 minus 21, well, 32 minus 20 is 12, and minus 1 is 11. So I've got 11/6. So I would never leave my answer as an improper fraction. I would convert it. So that's 6 goes into 11 once. The remainder is 5. So I've got 1 and 5/6. And don't forget to always write a sentence at the end to finish off your applied word problem. So it would finish off with a nice sentence. So there's my nice sentence at the end. Riley would have 1 and 5/6 cups of white sugar left over. So the answer in context with the problem. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope that helped. Have a great day.